Hello class, this is a video tutorial on highest common factor. In case we've forgotten, a factor is a number that divides another number with no remainders. It's very important that we understand this. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at the idea of 12 divided by 1. Well, 12 divided by 1 is 12. Since there are no remainders, 1 is a factor of 12. Same thing. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Therefore, 2 is a factor of 12. And this can keep going. 12 divided by 3 is equal to 4, which means 3 is a factor. 12 divided by 4 is equal to 3, which means 4 is a factor of 12. Now take a look here. 12 divided by 5 is equal to 2 remainder 2. Since there are remainders, or it doesn't fully factor, or it doesn't fully divide, 5 is not a factor of 12. Okay, so now the highest common factor between two numbers, actually it can be 2 or more, this is HCF. That's what it's called, highest common factor. Okay, and how we do it is we find the factors of each and we find the highest common factor. It's the opposite to the lowest common multiple. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look at this example. Let's take a look at example A. 8 and 10. Let's find the highest common factor of 8 and 10. So let's list the factors of 8. And I list them in pairs, like this. 1 is always a factor of all numbers. 1 times what gets me 8? It's 1 and 8. The next number I go across is 2, because 8 is an even number. 8 is an even number. I know 2 is a factor. 2 times what gets me 8? Well, that's 2 times 4. 3 is not a factor. 4 is already taken. And 8 is already taken. So we've listed all 4 factors of 8. Now let's take a look at the factors of, not 8, factors of 10. We have 1 and 10 to begin with. And then we have 2, because I know 10 is an even number. 2 times what gets me 10? Well, that gives me 5. 3 doesn't work. 4 doesn't work. And we already have 5. So we already have all 4 factors. Now, of all the numbers that we have here, which of them is the largest factor of highest common factor? So we have 1 is common to both, but it's not the highest one. Okay. 2 is common to both, and it's actually the highest one in both. So that there is our highest common factor. So we write it as HCF between 8 and 10 is equal to 2. Okay, let's keep going. Let's take a look at the highest common factor of 12 and 15. Okay, let's take a look at the factors of 12, sorry. Factors of 12. 1 and 12. We have 2 and 6, and we have 3 and 4. The reason why I do this order is because you can already see that they're starting to merge into 1. The next number here is 4, but we already have 4, right? Let's take a look at the factors of 15. So 15, the factors always begin with 1 and itself. 2 doesn't work because 15 is an odd number. And we have 3 times 5. 4 doesn't work. And we have 5. So we have all the factors here. Okay. So now, which is the highest common factor in both lists? Well, 1 is common, but we have a higher one, which is 3. And there are no other higher factors. So 3 is our highest common factor. So we write HCF between 12 and 15 is 3. Okay, let's take a look. Let's keep going. Let's jump to a really hard one now. Let's take a look at question C. Let's take a look at 24 and 36. Let's write the multiples, the factors of 24. 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. 5 doesn't work, and 6 we already have. So these are all our factors. Let's take a look at the number 36. Factors of 36, we have 1 and 36. We have 2 and 18. We have 3 and 12. We have 4 and 9. 5 doesn't work. And we have 6 and 6. Whenever we have a square, we leave it as just 6. Because 6 doesn't occur twice. It's 6 and itself. So now, which is the highest common factor between both of them? Let's take a look. 1 is common, but 2 is common. 3 is also common. We want the highest one. 4 is common. 6 is common. So far as 6, we have no 9s. We have 12s. And I believe that's the highest one we have. So 12 is our highest common factor. So put HCF between 24 and 36 is 12. We'll do one last example here. Let's take a look at the factors of question D. Let's look at the factors of 48 and 54. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look at the factors of 48. 1 and 48. 2 and 24. Does 3 work here? 4 plus 8 is 12. Yes, that will work. It will be 3, the 1 and 16. 4 and 12. 5 doesn't work. 6 times 6, 8. So 6 times 8 is 48. And 7 doesn't work because it's 7 times 7 is 49. So here are all our factors of 48. Let's do the factors of 54 now. 1 and 54. 54 is an even number, so it'll be 2 and 27. Yep. Does 3 work? 5 plus 4 is 9. Yes, 3 will work. 3, that'll be 1, remained 224, that'll be 18. Does 4 work? 48, 50, no, 4 does not work. 5 doesn't work. Does 6 work? 6 times 9, yeah, there we are. 6 times 9 is 54. 7 8s are 56. I think these are all our factors. Let's search for the highest one. 1, 2 is common, 3 is common, 4 is not common, 6 is common, 8, no, 12, no, 16, no. I think 6 is our highest common factor here. So the HCF between 48 and 54 is 6. I hope that helps out on calculating the highest common factor.